What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. So let's get into this one. As many of you, if not all of you, would have seen over the weekend, we had Dillian Whyte getting utterly destroyed by Moses Talma in a just under 2 minutes of the first round. Itam was just too fast, too young, too much of everything, too powerful for Dillian Whyte. And Dillian Whyte has had a very, very good career. Some could say he's overachieved. He's fought basically the best of the best in the heavyweight division. There's not really the only name that he hasn't fought really is Deontay Wilder, but outside of Deontay Wilder, he's pretty much gone and been there and done it and fought everybody and made millions and millions out of the game. And after the defeat on Saturday, people have been saying, well, pretty much he should retire. Even going into it, people were saying, vast majority of people were just like, well, if he loses here, there's nowhere really for him to go. So really and truly, if he's got to retire. And I wasn't really against those thoughts. I was on the same sort of track that look, if really and truly in terms of going somewhere in boxing, achieving something, I mean, the Moses Talma was a very, very dangerous fight and not one I favored him to win. So yeah, it was very, very dangerous, and but he's decided to carry on, and he's said, "Look, I'm not gonna. I will be back, guys." Was basically his message. He's talked about how he'd been blessed on his Twitter page and just confirmed that he's not going away. He's not retiring yet. He is coming back, and to me, that's not really much of a surprise because rarely ever do you get a boxer that does the sensible thing and sort of retires when they're supposed to. There's not many fighters who do that. I mean, even guys like Floyd Mayweather, who retired with kind of the perfect record, he's still around the sport. He's still done exhibitions afterwards, and he's still involved in some way, shape, or form. But there's very few guys who actually do something great in the sport and then stop exactly at the right time and don't come back. I mean, it's only really a handful that I could say done that. I think Lennox Lewis done that. I think Andre Ward in recent times he kind of done that. I think there was another fight on the table with Adonis Stevenson I would like to have seen, but for the most part he achieved what you could. I think Carl Froch got out at a good time as well. There's a few of them that you can name, but a lot of guys like sort of a Roy Jones Jr., who was a spectacular talent, they always tend to sort of come back and fight on way, way too long, like Ali and so many others. But yeah, so Whyte's going to continue. He's going to go on. And I think it's one of them where, as much as I think, yeah, really, you should be retiring. There's nothing really more for you to do. You're not going to really get to the top, but at the same time, I can understand he's got the heart of a lion, the heart of a warrior, and something that Dillian Whyte has got that's elite. I don't think he's ever been like elite in terms of his skills. I think he's been pretty decent. He's been okay. He's got good power, but the one thing he's got that some people don't have is the mind state. He's got that mind state and that mentality that even when like he lost to Povetkin, he was winning a fight and he lost, we got devastatingly knocked out. He still was able to come back immediately, face Povetkin again, and you could see that there were no demons. It was as if the fight didn't happen. It was as if he didn't just get knocked out by this guy in a previous fight. And Whyte's always got that mentality that no matter what happens to him, he's always willing to get back in that ring and act like it didn't happen. Just fight with the same intensity as he did before. So his mind state is elite because he just never gives up. And with him having that mentality, I suppose we can't be surprised that he's not going to quit. He's going to go again. And I think, yeah, in some ways you could, I suppose you could argue it's fine that he can come back. He can think for himself, but I think for me, he's got to sort of just play it safe with whoever this opponent is. I don't think you want to go after any of the top guys. I think even him versus, many have mentioned him versus Joyce might be a good, something that was supposed to happen anyway. Maybe that's a good fight. And I think even it might be a bit far fetched, but him versus Deontay Wilder would be a sensible fight at this point, because both guys have basically, they're basically gone. They're washed up. But you get Deontay Wilder. Wilder doesn't really pull the trigger anymore, and Dillian Whyte's very fragile himself. But both look quite old in their performances and way past their best. But I think maybe you do that fight. It's a fight that'll make a bit of money, and there are two guys that were supposed to fight a long time ago. Maybe you do that fight. But yeah, there's a few opponents out there, and I think what he should do, Dylan White, just play it safe. Don't don't take too much risk. You want to be around, as Hatman Boxing said. You want to be around to enjoy your money. You made a fortune in boxing, so don't take any silly risks, and just take a sensible fight, and then you go off and enjoy your money and your family and everything. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I think it's not the most sensible move by Dillian White, but I think if he picks his opponent carefully, then yeah, it can go well, and he can sort of. I guess the thing with him might be going out on a win, and I think if he chooses carefully with his opponent, someone not too risky, then hey, just go out, win that fight, and retire. In my view, at least. So let me know your thoughts. Until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.